Hey everyone, Tony D with another hot take. Hot take. This time on Joker again. I can't believe I'm doing another hot take on the Joker, or another thing on the Joker, or another video on Joker. I thought I said what I had to say on it, but things have changed. Things are happening, and it's spiraling out of control. And before I get into it, please smash like and subscribe. Please check out the Pineys and Wokeness, the Webcomic Factory, and Superfrat if you like little comics. Now, what's the deal here? As I said before in my previous video, I think there's very good possibility, because I'm very cynical when it comes to movies, and especially when it comes to marketing. When I first heard that Todd Phillips was talking about this movie and how it was anti-woke, I thought, yeah, that's probably a clever ploy by him to promote the movie. And, that may or may not really be the case. He may see the writing on the wall and say, hey, let's turn this boat around, get on the anti-woke side before it's too late. And then The Guardian came out blasting this movie, and Slate and a few other places. They're just blasting the movie all of a sudden, just like they blasted Dave Chappelle's thing, just like they blasted a lot of things that attack the wokeness. So now I'm turned around on this. Although I think creatively it was a bad choice to use the Joker as a main character, I think that this movie could be an important movie. And the reason I think it's important is because this could be the first serious salvo in fighting the wokeness on a cultural level. So Todd may have actually set out to go, F these guys. F these guys. They've ruined comedy, so I'm going to do this movie. And that's kind of the vibe that's coming out from Todd and the buzz around the movie. Now, it could still all be orchestrated. I still am cynical enough to believe that this whole thing could be an orchestration. Not necessarily by Todd. I have a feeling, this is a guy who directed The Hangover, which, great movie, by the way, if you haven't seen it. Great comedy. And sequels suck balls, but the rest was the first one. Beautiful. In my opinion, by the way. So the fact that, he said this and he has done funny movies, maybe he's being honest. Now, the cynical bastards in the marketing department, they could be, seeing the writing on the wall, and they could have orchestrated this. I did my little scenario where Hollywood calls in a favor to the army and says, hey, let's put this thing out. Now, it may not have been that way. I think it's more likely just some, old guy in the army said, oh, I read something on Huffington Post. I better warn the soldiers. Because somebody in the comments said something like, I haven't been in the army in 20 years, but I hear it's pretty woke now. So, if the military's getting woke too, it could very well be one of these woke people in the army going, whoa, I better warn them about the movie, about Joker. So either way, opportunity arises when something like this happens. So the media, of course, immediately seizes on it, especially the woke media. They've decided that for whatever reason, because and there's a few videos on this you should see if you want to drill down even further. Sargon of Akkad just did one. It was pretty interesting. And Tim Pool. Now, Tim Pool is saying that it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. The media is saying there's going to be a shooting or problems, then there will be at Joker. Sargon's more of the mindset that the reason they hate it so much is because it is anti-woke, and that they're going after incels, and that the movie itself defends incels or makes them look sympathetic. And this is a something that angers the feminist. essentially. The fourth wave feminists we're really talking about here. When we're talking about feminists a lot of times on videos, we're really not talking about people who, back in the 70s who were doing something, cool. We're talking about the fourth wave feminists, the maniacs who are running around now saying everything's sexist. And that are essentially man haters now. I mean, it was this idea of women's empowerment in the 70s, and it's just been twisted into this weird goal of replacing men with women, which, seems to be blowing up on every level. Anyhow, the Joker, the movie's called Joker, got a big clap at Cannes, and that too was a signal to me. I don't know, because sometimes Cannes has become another marketing ploy for movies. But when The Guardian came out against it, and all these woke media outlets came out really hard against it, I have to think there's something here. There's something here worth seeing. And when they go in and just bash the movie, now it could be that a lot of these woke media outlets are really in serious trouble monetarily, and maybe they're taking a kickback from the marketing arm of the studio in order to do this on purpose, because they see this as a way to get asses in the seats. I mean, I'm definitely now going to go see Joker. I think I have to see it. Because I think it could be an important movie. So I'm gonna go see it. I guess it opens this weekend or soon. And I'm not afraid of incels showing up to shoot the place, because if the movie, as one Guardian writer wrote, the Joker is like the patron saint of incels. Incels don't come and shoot up a movie that portrays them as good or sympathetic. Why would they? They wouldn't shoot up a movie like that. They would shoot up a different kind of movie, one that would be antithetical to their cause, I would think. I would think that would be the logical thing to do, not that shooting up anything is logical. Don't shoot up anything, please. So I don't think that's going to happen. Now, Tim Pool, of course, reported that the NYPD is now stationing people inside the movie for Joker to protect people, which, some people may say, see, there really is a danger. No, that to me is the NYPD and the very strong police union saying, ooh, look at all the triple overtime we can give our members, and they could just sit around and watch a movie and stuff their faces. So, my friend was a cop, and he used to live for ridiculous gigs where he'd get paid double overtime to direct traffic around a construction site. I mean, he couldn't believe how much he got paid basically to sit around or stand there and go, He would have laughed his ass off at the opportunity of going into a movie theater and watching Joker to protect the audience. He would have been like, there's nothing's going to happen. And he'd go there and he'd probably fill up on candy and watch the movie and have a great time. And that's exactly what these policemen are going to do. Because they all know, too, that if something happens and they catch the guy, they'll be heroes. If something happens and they don't catch the guy right away and he manages to do some damage, well, it would have been a lot worse. And if something happens and, I don't know, the cop's in the bathroom or he's in the wrong theater and a bunch of people get killed, they'll say, well, we couldn't possibly predict that. It doesn't matter what happens. The police departments always have an excuse. And whether they're going to spin it, they'll always spin it in their own favor. That's what they do. I'm not knocking the police department per se. I'm just saying that, especially in New York, they like to get a little overtime. And it's about money. And again, it may be the studio pushing this narrative to get asses in the seats. Because now it's a little dangerous to go see Joker, right? It's a little dangerous. I wasn't going to see this movie, but I heard it might be a messed up movie. Maybe they'll pull it out of theaters. I got to go see it, before it's gone, or, before somebody gets shot or whatever. Because the kind of people who would go see Joker, which are mostly guys, they're just going to be like, nobody's going to get shot. I don't care. I'm going to go. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. So, do I think there will be a shooting? Again, I think it was stupid for the Army to announce this. I think it's even stupider for the media to hype it, because you're basically begging people who are mentally ill to come and do something. And you're not going to have enough cops. I mean, they're not going to put a cop in every single movie. They're not. They won't. They'll put it in some big theaters. And the theaters they're putting him into in Manhattan, I mean, they're big theaters, right? Like, what is he going to do? You know, he might stop. It's dark in a movie theater. If the guy pulls out a gun, you know, he'll be on his second clip by the time you find him in that darkness. I mean, let's be honest. What are you going to do? Shoot through the crowd to get at him? It's sad that it's come to this, but the people who are promoting this narrative, like something's going to happen at the Joker movie, they are essentially egging mentally ill people on to do this. They're egging these people on. And there are mentally ill people out there who, you know, they'll do this stuff. So, you know, I think it's terrible that they would talk about this so irresponsibly. I think it's ridiculous that people can't just make movies anymore. We have to analyze it like everything's political. This wasn't a political movie. Not really. This is a movie about culture. Okay? It's not a movie about Trump. Get over it. God, I'm so sick of people complaining about Trump. I really am. You know, they just complain about Trump endlessly. I got to make another video about that separately, because believe me, this video will be an hour long if I do that. So overall, I'm saying that in general, screenwriters, we should probably support Todd Phillips and go see this movie. I think it's going to be an important movie. I think it's going to turn the tide culturally. I think it started with something like Dave Chappelle's, and I want to see another Rotten Tomatoes, disparity. I want to see another 100% for Joker from the fans, and another whatever they give it, which will probably be in the high 30s. It'll probably get a little less flack because it got so rated so highly in Cannes. But I mean, the hypocrisy of this entertainment media and media in general is just gotta stop. It has to stop. And the only way we're going to stop it is by not patronizing these websites. Stop patronizing them. No matter how bad their headlines are that you got to see, don't click on them. Don't click. That's my thing. Don't click. And if anything, and if you want to complain about anything, if you do click on them, take the time to write them a comment about how much they suck and how it's a terrible, terrible website, I don't know if that's going to do any good, because as I said, it's all about engagement. Oh man, my eye's so itchy. So maybe that's actually helping them. I don't know. But, it used to be if you wrote a letter to the editor or a letter to someone in a publication, it kind of meant something. If a bunch of people wrote letters, that maybe the publication would get on board with changing their ways a little bit, or apologizing, or saying, hey, maybe we shouldn't do that all the time. I don't think that, now that I think about it, I don't think that's really going to help. So forget about writing letters. I think we just need to stop going to these websites, these woke idiots. Vox, another one. I think we just need for them to die out and go away, And Twitter, another place. I'm on Twitter strictly to promote. That's all I'm there for. If you're on Twitter and you're tweeting every day, my advice to you is please get off. This is a Twitter, Facebook, Some of these social medias have become a sickness. If you get caught up in this stuff, it's bad. Understand that that's what it's designed to do. It's designed to suck you in and get you caught up in these ridiculous moral panics. And that's what the Joker is. Or Joker. I keep saying the Joker. Joker is a moral panic. The reaction to Joker is a moral panic about how we're living these days. And every moment we're living like it's our last days because of Donald Trump, because of people who aren't woke enough, and all sorts of nonsense. We have to get out of this panic. And I'm not sure what the answer is to completely get out of this panic, but I think part of the answer is to choke off these sources for this panic. Get off of Twitter, get off of Facebook, get off these sites that drive this panic, and don't patronize them. Find other sites to patronize. Real news site, like Deadline. Deadline, it's pretty good, you know? It's not super woke. It reports real entertainment news. Do your own research. Find reliable sources that aren't part of the mainstream, and don't get caught up in their BS either. So, and go see Joker. I say go see Joker now. Yeah, I think there has to be something there. All right, on to the next video.